Hello, and today I'm actually going to be baking again. I happen to have 3 very ripe bananas which I'm not gonna eat because they look overripe. But what I'm going to do with them is banana bread. Now for this recipe I will need bananas, 2 eggs, chocolate chips, 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar, some salt, baking soda and baking powder. For this recipe, we're actually going to be mashing bananas in one bowl, and I'm going to mix the other ingredients in a separate bowl, then combine them later. So let's peel them. They look unappealing, actually, but they smell delicious. They smell like ripe bananas. And I'm going to use the masher. Mash, mash, mash. Hold the bowl so the bowl doesn't get stuck, doesn't rock and roll. I'm kind of mashing them like I would mash the mashed potatoes into something really smooth, into the smooth consistency. And actually, with the potato masher, it's actually pretty easy. It's pretty easy to do. And actually, it's pretty ready. It's ready right now. So there we go. Next, I'm going to add some of the other ingredients. I'm going to start with a little bit of baking soda, not too much of it. So just a light sprinkle. And then I'm going to add a light sprinkle of the baking powder, right? So I'm going to just add it in. There we go. I will mix it up. And finally, you know what the most important ingredient of every dessert is? It's the salt. It's the secret ingredient. Check out this salt and pepper shaker that I got. This is actually really nice. It allows you to adjust the coarseness of the salt and the pepper. So like for this recipe, I'm actually going to use fine salt so it doesn't stand out. So like when I mix it in, the salt is supposed to just be a part of the overall experience. It's not supposed to stand out when you actually taste it. It's not supposed to crunch in your teeth. So this helps for this, to adjust the coarseness. So, and it actually looks nice too. So I'm going to add salt. Salt is actually very important for the baking. If you like it, the link is in the description. We have the baking powder, baking soda, salt, sugar, and the flour. Okay, I think this actually is mixed well. Now it's time to mix it all together before baking. So I'm going to start by adding the melted butter to the mix, to the bananas. I melted the quarter cup of butter in a microwave. It's about 30 seconds. That actually makes it easier to mix it in. You could, of course, try to mix in the stick of butter, but it's just going to be a little harder. So let me just pour it in. And that's the butter. And whisk it. So it's all mixed well. It actually mixes well. It actually mixes in pretty well. Okay. Next, I'm going to add the eggs. Yeah. 1. I'm holding it so it doesn't flip over. There we go. It's even smoother. There we go. And let me actually whisk it in. Actually, it mixes well, so it's actually coming out to be pretty good. Next, I'm going to add my dry mix. So let me just kind of neatly, gradually add it to the mix. Okay. And again, the mix contains the flour, the sugar, the baking soda, baking salt, all that goodness. And this is what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like a batter, something like in the middle between the batter for pancakes and dough for making bread. But yeah, it's a little bit more liquidy than dough, but it's not as liquid as a batter. So there we go. Well, now let's put this mix into the form that we're going to be using for baking. This is a standard banana bread form. I suppose you can use a different size or a different shape, whatever you like. I'm going to start by spraying this form with some cooking oil so that the banana bread doesn't get stuck to the bottom. Alternatively, you can line it with foil, but then I think you might still want to spray some oil on the foil because then you don't want the foil to be stuck to your bread. So let me... That's fully I want to try to be neat about this. I don't want to get it all over the kitchen table or the island or anywhere. At first I thought that we don't have, the form is not big enough for this mix, but actually it looks like it's perfect size. I guess it's designed for banana bread. Now that the mix is in the form, the next thing to do is to tap it. And the reason why we're tapping it is two reasons. One is to get the bubbles out, and the other reason is to make the surface smooth. I'm going to tap it 2 more times, just for good measure. Now I'm going to put it in the oven. I preheated it to 325 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to leave it in the oven for 1 hour. For 1 hour, and then we're going to be ready, and hopefully it will taste great. Well, the banana bread has been in the oven for an hour, and I left it to cool for a little bit, for about 10 minutes, so it's not as hot anymore. So let me try to get it out of the form, and I'm going to use a knife for that. So first I'm going to go around the form. It's already kind of loose, which is kind of nice, because I oiled it well. Let me go around, and I kind of pick it up a little bit, and at this point I'm going to bang it on the table. Let's see if it just comes out. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Now let's cut this beautiful, beautiful banana bread into slices with a knife. And I'm going to use Starbucks sizes. 1. You see, that's the chocolate chips. Let's get it like that. 2. Maybe a third slice here. There we go. And now let's give it a taste. And I'm going to get some coffee with it. It should be delicious. Let me get some coffee. It tastes like bananas with chocolate. It's sweet, but not super sweet. If you like this video, watch other videos on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.